turns out that phone had the only pictures in the world of his baby girl being born. When the snow melted down in Chicago, I found about 30 of those goddamn Red coupon bundles in their crummy little colored plastic bags. Soaking wet, of course. Whoever leaves these things, I got a message for you. No! There's a special day for you in the head!
When the snow melted down in Chicago, I found a gas pump handle smushed up along the curb near Collaboraction Club. I took it across the street to the BP, and the owner was so happy. As I left, he told me I had
Many goodnesses and blessings. Many goodnesses.
makes me smile when I think of that guy.
When I was walking through the streets, and when the snow melted down in Chicago, I seen the drug dealers coming out of the hiding from the cold. I locked my doors. I live in the West Garfield Park area, and as the cold from the winter had been, it was a beautiful, wonderful, and quiet on the street. Not a human I know had been shot. Last year, my nephew, Don Trail, and his friends got arrested, suspected as gang members. 3 of them, ages 11, 10, and 10. All 3. Nobody caught those for the crime. And they ain't looking.
Just some more than that, folks.
I heard a man on the radio begin to talk, and as he said, Chicago is a city of neighborhoods. But what he really meant is
Segregated town.
so I stay in my neighborhood, and you stay in yours.
Especially black.
Snow pulling back from Vesuvius, see it melt and recognize your doom.
full of soft underpants, and I brought him in. And I feed him milk out of a baby bottle. I named him Tiny Tim, but please don't tell my landlord because he can come and rage with me and take me to renter's court again.
When the snow melted down Chicago, I found a whole entire street full of busted on 60th Street near California Avenue. Lawn chairs, coffee cans, a freaking ironing board. These people shoved the area around their car once and think they own that spot. Bullshit! A Chicago tradition! They say, so is dead people voting, but that don't make it right.
When the snow melted down in Chicago, I found the butternut squash. I know it's not exciting, but it's what it counts. When the snow melted down in Chicago, I was finally able to open my back door. I live in a bad basement apartment that I can't afford in a neighborhood that is not great. I make $15 an hour after taxes, food, student loans, lights, credit card bills, gas, Wi-Fi, CTA, and rent. I have about $50 left a month. Something is wrong with this country. For our parents, TGIF was about having fun on the weekends. For me, it's TGIF! I can clear that overdraft notice. Or
TGIF!
I can turn the electricity back on. Come on, Friday, come on, Friday,
Come on, Friday!
Say that 52 times and a year has flashed by like a Roman candle. Your life is disappearing like smoke.
Snow melted down in Chicago. I headed to the grocery store for the first time in weeks. I walked through the slush in an empty parking lot next to a boarded-up building.
Big walls of melting snow.
About 5 against the sides of the building. And that was where I saw it. A dark spot.
In the white.
I got nearer. A little face. It looked like a doll face. It was small and cocoa colored. You may have already guessed it. And it was exactly that. A little black girl, 5 months of age. Eyes wide open, hand outstretched, perfectly preserved, and frozen in the snow. Dead.
When the snow melted down in Chicago, I visited Grant Park again. Before here, my whole life had been lived in Afghanistan, where I was recruited by the United States Army to translate. The Taliban had tried to kill me on a number of occasions, but that was not God's will. My CO generously petitioned the government for my green card, and 7 years later, I arrived. After I landed, I took the Blue Line train from O'Hare Airport, and I went to Grant Park. I stood in an
Enormous field of grass.
with blue waters on one side and
Towers of buildings on the other.
rows of trees with changing leaves rose like fire
Fire on
on
the
the hillside.
hillside.
I remember thinking it looked like yoking palm on the hand of God. I'm not blind to the flaws. I know there is crime and trash in the streets. There are prejudices and a small group of people who own most of the wealth. Those who are born to this land are so
fortunate.
They do not see the things they take for granted. It would be so shocking
Shocking
to
splendor.
to most of the planet. God turns the wheel from light to dark and back again. This city I was not born to, but she's my mother.
You are my family.
in all directions, like they're allergic to stuff. And some borrow just a little pink from their flashy neighborhoods, like they're blushing. It's the only time you ever see Chicago blush.